Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at the Greninja with the new move Water Shuriken. It is 4 AM at night, so there's no better time to take a look at this Pokemon. And you're most likely going to wonder, why do I have this Pokemon already while it should not be available for me in the current time zone? The thing is, the Community Day move is not available, so I don't have Hydro Cannon, but actually Niantic decided to add the new move Water Shuriken around 3 AM at my time. So, of course, after already commentating the World Championships, which you also saw already on my channel, we're going to take a look today at the Water Shuriken Greninja. And this Pokemon is actually super insane. While this first match up here already, I remember it's not going to be too good for us because of the way the opponent plays the game. As you're going to see right now, we already have one Charmer. The opponent had an Umbreon in the lead. And if you see one Charmer and an Umbreon in the lead, you're most likely going to have another Charmer in the back, which honestly is not the best matchup for the Greninja. But you're going to see in today's video, this Pokemon already here with Surf is going to be insane. Yes, of course, I built this Pokemon just now with a rank 2 rating there. And I'm going to just use an Elite Charge TM as soon as it's going to be available after the Community Day, because I want to play this Pokemon. This Pokemon is insanely fun to use, and you're going to see it as well right now. It's going to be so nice to play this Pokemon. We're going to encounter here the Galarian Stunfisk in the lead, where we can do a lot of damage with just counter, but I also can swap out into my Dugong, as I will be able to go for a draw run here right now. This would knock them out, so they're going to decide to shield. I can let the next move go through as well, but the opponent going to decide to swap into their Medicham. This is amazing for us, because this team is kinda trying to get out the Medicham with the Dugong Say Swap here, as we can go for another Icy Wind, and this is going to get them a little bit lower. I can swap into my Deoxys again. I have a ton of energy, which is actually not ideal here, because I kind of want to throw some energy, but I also don't really want to throw some energy. And they're gonna get the defense drop here, 10% chance from the Psychic, of course. They get this immediately here, which is going to get our Deoxys defense a little bit lower. And at this point of time, I completely forgot on how much energy the opponent's Stunfisk has, as I'm going to use a shield here right now, which is totally not needed. And this might make this matchup a little bit worse for me, as they can go ahead and go for another Psycho Boost. The opponent going to let this move go through, and they're going to survive with 1 HP. Super unlucky so far, as we can swap out into our Greninja and we get hard-walled by a Venusaur in the back. But honestly, you're going to see now for the first time how actually the Water Shuriken going to charge moves, and you see already, we are going to get to them super fast. And if we even get a boost here early on, we would have been able to still win this game here against the Venusaur, which is wild, and which makes this Pokemon an insane Pokemon to use, because if you get lucky, this Pokemon just sweeps teams it shouldn't supposed to be sweeping. And even if you don't get lucky, you're still going to have Hydro Cannon later on in order to knock out opponents left, right, and center. And there are going to be way better games coming up now with Greninja, so stay tuned for that one as well. We will be able to go for a Thunderbolt here against the opponent's Tapu Fini, which they most likely going to shield up, as they know that this is going to hurt them quite a bit. And we're going to shield up here the potential Moonblast from the opponent, which is just going to be a Surf. Great play by them, as they're going to swap out into an Altaria, catching our charge move here of Psycho Boost, and we can swap into our Dugong. Being able to farm them all the way down without having to shield anything is going to be amazing for us, as the drill run damage is going to come in clutch against Tapu Fini or whatever wants to come in here right now. We can even debuff opponents, but we will get out also the hard answer for the Greninja. This team itself, I think, is basically perfectly balanced. It's a little bit tricky, I guess, against some Charm users, but that's kind of a lot of teams recently. But this team definitely can work out super well. I feel like this is a very strong team to use. So if you want to use your own Greninja, if you have the Community Day, this might be a team for you, as you can now go ahead and take a look at Greninja. We charge up so fast. You're going to see me here now going for one shield as well, as I can go ahead and shield up the Moonblast, which is going to be nice. And now it's going to be time to spam some Night Slashes. Greninja is getting to this move so insanely fast that I'm just going to be able to outspam the opponent's Tapu Fini here right now. We actually do so much damage because we're an attack-rated Pokemon as well. And we see right now, Tapu Fini is not enjoying this. We can just knock them all out, and the opponent's Galarian Stunfisk said goodbye to us as well, as they can move on to the next game. Clefable in the lead. This is going to be nice for us. We can go ahead and go for the Psycho Boost right now, which is going to do some decent damage against the opponent. As this Psycho Boost is coming through, we can swap out into our Dewgong, and Dewgong going to appreciate this matchup here quite a bit, as we will be able to just take this Media Mesh. I can go ahead, let this next move go through as well, which is going to be another Media Mesh, and I can go for an Icy Wind now against the opponent who is swapping in here with, let's see, the Sableye. This is actually an amazing matchup later on for our good friend Greninja, and we can take this opportunity here right now to just steamroll the opponent's team. We can swap into our Greninja, and this Pokemon will be able to now shield up the return from the opponent. Yes, they're debuffed, but it still would hurt quite a bit because they're very glassy. But now we have a ton of energy right now. The opponent is going to swap into now, let's see, the Clefable. I can go for the bait first here with the Night Slash. Maybe should have went for the Surf instead. But as you're going to see right now, it's going to still do a ton of damage, and we can farm down as they're going to have a Swampert in the back. I want to keep the energy on my Greninja because it's going to be very viable later on, especially as we're going to have to catch a move here anyway onto our Deoxys, forcing the opponent to throw some energy against us, as well as they're going to throw another Hydro Cannon just before we can reach a Psycho Boost, which now going to allow us to get back into our Greninja, and Greninja is going to town again. Night Slash coming through, gonna get the shield. Night Slash coming through again, going to get a ton of damage against the opponent, and honestly it's going to be so much my favorite Pokemon. This Pokemon is just so much fun to play, and it's super easy to counter as well, so like it's not going to be broken, but it's going to be so much fun to just try to use this Pokemon, have a great time here. As they're going to not have the greatest time against this opponent. They're running Bastion plus Medicham already. Super lame team, of course, but we can try to go ahead and go for some Thunderbolts. They're running Power Punch, which is actually really bad for us. As you're going to see here right now, Power Punch Medicham is going to do so much damage against the Deoxys. It is absolutely wild. As the Thunderbolt is coming through right now, this is going to get the knockout, hopefully, but no, they're going to shield up the move. And like this, we're going to have a little bit of a problem. Our Deoxys is taking down so much damage here right now, and I'm even going to shield up the Power Punch, which is not ideal, of course. But like, we are getting so much lower right now that it's going to be tricky to deal later on as well against the Bastion. Like, what am I going to do here? And they're going to go straight for the Power Punch, and they can even reach another one in time, which is so bad for us. So they were able to realign, as well as they're going to have so much damage now output against our Dewgong, and this is not looking good at all. Power Punch coming through, and we can at least still go for a Drill Run against the opponent's Bastion here, but it's not looking good. We're going to have to swap out here immediately against with our Greninja. We can go for a Night Slash against the opponent's Sableye here, which is actually very decent for us. As you're going to see right now, we can even go for another Night Slash later on, but we will see here right now as well that the foul play is going to get us fairly low. Night Slash is coming through now. Can we knock out the opponent's Bastion? Here's one thing that I have to note. I'm fairly certain if this was a Hydro Cannon, this might have been able to knock out the opponent with the extra damage of my fast move. I'm fairly certain I would have been able to win this game if this was a Hydro Cannon. So this makes even Greninja better than you see here right now. This would have been a win if a Hydro Cannon was on my Pokemon, but of course, right now not available for me. My community day starts in 11 and actually 10 hours right now, so that's going to be a little bit of a trickier one. Ice Punch from the Medicham is coming through against us as we can move on for one Thunderbolt right now. This Thunderbolt is going to do some decent damage against the opponent, and now we can try to go ahead and go for another one afterwards. We're going to let this move go through, of course. You kind of always want to keep your shields for Greninja, because in the 2-shield scenario, if you saw my videos about it as well, this Pokemon goes to town. Thunderbolt coming through, going to do some decent damage there, as he can go ahead and go for the full farm down against the opponent. Ice Punch going to not knock us out, but the Sableye is now going to align against the Greninja. I can go ahead and go straight for the Night Slash here, which is going to get some nice damage onto the opponent. Two-shotting a Sableye, which is amazing to have. Like, honestly, this is so good to have here right now. But I think they actually would be able to survive it, but they're going to shield anyway, as I'm going to use my shield now as well. The foul play going to get shielded, and we will see right now that I'm going to be able to go for a charge move against the Azumarill here. This is going to be a little bit tricky, especially as we don't have the best Azumarill answer right now. And you see me going to go up a lot in energy. As it can now swap into our Dewgong, which can take the charge moves, I'm going to keep my shield alive, of course, for my Greninja. Greninja is the best Pokemon for me to use my shield on, as I do so much more damage with this Pokemon that we can at least still go ahead and go for some Drill Runs against the Azumarill here with our Dewgong, which is going to come in clutch quite a bit. doing some decent damage. Can I hit another one? I can go for another one, but they're going to swap out into the Sableye. Great play by the opponent, as they're going to still shield this move up though. This will allow me to go for another Night Slash against the opponent here right now, as I go for another fast move first. Night Slash is coming through. Do I get the boost here against the opponent? Let's see. We do not, and we actually didn't even get that many boosts with this Pokemon either, which is really good to see that this Pokemon even can function without the boost. But now we have the Azumarill against us. We're just gonna go for the Night Slash spam, and as you're going to see right now, the opponent is going to be in range for another Night Slash here right now, and the Azumarill even goes down to the spamminess of Greninja. And if I say this Pokemon is insanely strong, I mean it. Like, honestly, Greninja is so cool to play. Can't wait for everybody to try this Pokemon out. But also, with the buff of Greninja, a Pokemon that's going to be way more common tomorrow as well, or like in general, going to be way better, is going to be Poliwrath. Poliwrath hard walls Greninja. So definitely make sure to also play your Poliwrath if you want to. But here we're going to now encounter the opponent's Deoxys, where we can at least get some damage onto them and also some attack drops, as I'm actually going to use a shield here because I'm fairly certain I might be able to realign. They're gonna go for the Thunderbolt here, as we can move on and go for one Icy Wind here right now. This is going to do some decent damage still, and we might get them even into farm down range. Let's see what they're gonna do here. I'm actually gonna go ahead and go for another shield, as now I will be able to farm them all the way down. The opponent only has one shield left, and our Dugong going to go to town here, so you're gonna be seeing that they go into their Bastion. This is not ideal, but it's not bad either, because you can go for one Drill Run here, and I can swap out into my Greninja, which will have access to the move Surf, of course, as we're gonna now see that the opponent goes for a Stone Edge. We can still survive that one, which is amazing, as we can go for a Surf. They're still gonna go for a Smackdown, and I'm gonna go for the Night Slash now, because I thought they would stay in, but they did not, and they swap into the Nidoqueen. And still going to shield this move up, which is going to be amazing for me, as I can now go for one Psycho Boost. This should be enough. It's a Shadow, it's Stab, it's super effective, it's going to be a knockout, and the Deoxys can just farm down the Bastion here, as we can move on into the final game for today. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please feel free to leave a like. It's literally 4 AM at my time right now. I'm tired, but I still want to make this video for you, as you're gonna now see that they can swap out into a Dugong against the Galarian Stunfisk from the opponent. This is going to be fine, as the Rock Slide is going to do some decent damage. We can try to go for a Drill Run here as well. This is going to do some decent damage as well, most likely. Let's see, Drill Run, gonna get the knockout against the opponent. In comes Swampert. I can go for the Icy Wind right now. This is going to be nice, as this is going to get the debuff onto the opponent and forces them to throw an Earthquake against us, which is okay for me as well. Like, they're either gonna use a ton of energy here, or like I'm going to be able to survive, but you're going to now see the opponent's Noctowl coming in. I'm gonna go for the Night Slash here, maybe I get the boost, who knows, but I'm gonna swap out now into my Deoxys, forgetting that I actually have so much energy right now. So I'm gonna go for the Psycho Boost here. I should have went for the Thunderbolt instead, but it's still going to be okay, as they're gonna go straight for another charge move here, and I thought I would still survive a Sky Attack, but I actually don't. But doesn't matter. We have a Greninja, and Greninja is kinda hungry here right now. Night Slash going to get spammed, and you're going to take a look at this right now. Night Slash gonna get the shield. Next Night Slash coming through afterwards as well. We're gonna get a free fast move here, which is amazing. Water Shuriken is such a good fast move. It is a wild how strong Greninja is now. You're going to now see the Night Slash coming through, going to get the knockout against the opponent. Noctowl still can survive. Noctowl will not survive 2 more Night Slashes, as we're just going to spam them so much. This is going to be it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, and feel free to subscribe to the channel, as we're gonna have more content for Greninja tomorrow. Bye bye.